mean, first off, I'm happy the way the team played today. I'm very proud of the way they worked. We had a good week of preparation. You know, the way we prepare always carries into how we play and how we perform. And I've seen this group make a lot of, consistent improvement day in, day out, which carries over week by week improvement. And that's starting to show in the results we're getting. But I'm proud of the way they work on a weekly basis. And we put them through a lot of stuff, but I'm proud they get to, receive some tangible results for their hard work. Seahawks, obviously have to give them a lot of credit. They're a well-coached team. They play very fundamentally sound. They're an explosive team. That's one of the best quarterbacks in the world over there. We have a tremendous amount of respect for all the players we saw today. And that obviously tied into the game plan we had to account for how explosive they were, how well coached they are on defense, and how explosive they are in the kicking game as well. I thought our guys received the game plan well. I think that Pat, Jason, and T-Mac all did a good job throughout the week, so did all the position coaches. I thought our guys came prepared to play today mentally, physically, and emotionally, and that showed up in a 60-minute game. We knew it was going to go down the wire. It always does in a place like this. You got to fight to keep yourself in a position to have a close game here and close it out in the end. And exactly what we thought was going to happen happened throughout the week in practice and happened in the game today, going down the wire. So that being said, any questions you have, I'll gladly answer right now.
Bruce Beck, NBC.
Joe, what about the quality of your defense overall? How did your defense do it today?
Yeah, I think that look, these guys work hard. I think Pat has a good plan. I think there's really good position coaches on the side of the ball. They're very detailed in their approach. I think our players, have gotten more comfortable within the scheme and able to build on the multiples. And you have to have multiples to play a lot of these quarterbacks we're playing. You've got to be able to play guys like Russell Wilson where you can go ahead and stop him in the run game. And again, that's a lot easier said than done. At the same point, try to confuse him a little bit in the passing game, which again is a lot easier said than done because this guy's seen a lot of coverage over the course of his career, and he's beat just about everything you can throw at him defensively. So, I think our guys are just working hard, and that level of play is raising right now. But, the coaches have done a good job, the players have executed, and the level of play is rising.
Bob Schwartz, New York Post.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, at halftime, you guys had no points and, 25 or so rushing yards. What happened at halftime? What words were said? What the changes were made schematically for you guys to run the ball and gain about 170 yards in the second half?
Well, there were a couple of small adjustments in terms of maybe some things we called or maybe the way we designed a run play, but I don't think there's anything radical. We talked about at halftime the biggest point of emphasis that we were going to stay committed to the game plan we had coming in, and they were going to keep on running the ball, and that we had to wear them down over time. We had to give our runners opportunities to get into space and finish the runs, and obviously those guys did that. They ran well. I don't know the exact numbers right now, but I know that our guys ran for somewhere around 190 yards. Is that correct? Somewhere in that range right
Yes.
there. So, you come in here, you just want top run defenses out there. They're coached very, very well, year in, year out. So, part of our game plan was obviously to run the ball. That starts up front with the offensive line blocking. Thought they did a good job of really playing hard and wearing them down over time. Then our backs ran tough and finished rounds.
Thank you.
Art Stapleton, The Record.
Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Good, Art. How's it going?
Okay. You've obviously been confident over the last couple of weeks and said, you weren't looking at the standings, you weren't necessarily playing for anyone outside of the building, but you're the first team from your division to actually beat a team with a winning record this year. I know we've been asking you about when you guys were going to get that opportunity. Is there any validation you take from this performance today?
I think there's a lot of validation for the way our players execute the game plan with how they prepared. To me, it's more validation in trusting that the process is going to pay off on the field. And these guys do a great job. Look, they've done everything we've asked them to do, and they've done it as well as they possibly can. And you see the results coming. And look, we've got a special group of guys. We have a very tough group of guys, all right, who have bought in to what we've asked them to do. They've done it, without questions. They've done it 100%. They're a tough group. We asked them to play a physical brand of football, and that's helped us, have tangible results. In terms of beating a team with a winning record, look, we've got a tough stretch coming up. We're going to have to beat teams with winning records. But the focus is still the same thing. 1 day at a time, 1 week at a time. We've got to get ready for a tough opponent going back home next week. And that's the only thing that really matters. Nothing before that game matters except for the lessons we learned from previous games. And nothing after that game exists until we get past next week's game. So we keep it, keep our sights short on what we're working for. And, look, we're going to look at this game. We're going to correct mistakes. We're going to build what we did well. And then we're going to get ready for another opponent next week.
Dan Duggan, The Athletic.
Hey, Joe, what did you guys do to take away those explosive plays you can't obviously see really on TV, and then just how much of an emphasis was that?
Well, I think against a group like this, and they're such a deep threat, you've got to account and make sure that they have to snap the ball again and again and not give those big chunk plays they can make so often. Look, Metcalf and Lockett, those are two explosive guys, about as good as there is in the league. And you just got to make sure that, you don't let them walk by. You got to stay on top in coverage. There's different variations of coverage, different ways we can play it, but ultimately it doesn't matter what you call. You just can't let these guys run behind you because that quarterback, Russell's really, really good at throwing deep balls, and he'll go ahead and throw it as far as it needs to be to get the ball down there. So, look, it always starts up front. You got to stop the run. If any team can run and pass, they're really playing with, power. If you can stop the run and limit the run and force them to play a little bit left-handed with only throwing the ball, that gives you a little bit of an edge. That's easier said than done. But I think our guys just did a really good job responding to this team in whatever situation they're put in. You look at our defense. You look at our defense today. There were a lot of waves in the game today. There's a lot of waves from Seattle of energy and momentum and things that maybe come together. And our defense just kept responding. Every time they got put out there, they just responded. All right, they converted and get a first down. Okay, so what? Now what? Okay, it's first down. Play the next down. And they responded. We were able to get them off the field. So, look, they went down there on the first drive, got the field goal. I thought our guys did a good job in the red area of holding them to the field goal. Again, this is one of the top red zone teams in the league. So to be able to do that and hold them to 3, we settled down a little bit defensively, and then I thought they finished the game really strong.
Real quick, just any word on Martinez?
Nothing yet. I mean, obviously, he's with the trainers right now. We'll have more information later tonight or tomorrow, but I don't have anything I really tell you right now of substance.
Good. Thanks.
Tom Rock, Newsday.
Joe, how did Daniel look, I guess, on the field before the game? Was it ever a thought to actually playing him? And then can you just talk about the couple of first downs that Colt picked up there inside with about 5 minutes left so that Seattle didn't have a lot of time left?
Yeah, first of all, I thought Colt did a really good job today in the game. Made a lot of tough throws. All right, we extended some drives, moved them all down the field. He did a really good job for us. He does a lot of things that you wouldn't notice on a stat sheet in terms of managing the game and really controlling the flow of the game, talking to the guys on the sideline, relaying information in the huddle. Colt really stepped up and had a huge game for us today. Made a lot of big throws when we needed them. Made some tough plays down the stretch. Made some right decisions and some check with knees on the line of scrimmage to put us in the right play that led to big plays from the runs. So he did a lot of things that may not show up in the stat sheet. He played a big-time game for us. He did a hell of a job preparing this week, I'm telling you. I mean, you guys, our quarterbacks really worked tirelessly, but him and Daniel working hand-in-hand together the entire week, really looking at the game plan, studying the defense together, going out in the field and really working and talking a lot together. Thorson did a great job for us, all week staying prepared. Jason did a really good job of mixing him in and giving him some reps to keep him ready as well. I thought the plan was really the way we had to play today. I thought our guys went out there and executed it. In terms of Daniel, I thought he looked better as the week went on. Look, this guy wanted to go out there and play today. Ultimately, I'll tell you right now, I had to kind of just protect him from himself today, and I just made the decision to hold him out today in terms of I didn't want to put him in a position where I wasn't 100% certain that he couldn't defend himself on every play. So, look, I got to make those tough decisions sometimes, and this guy's a competitor. He's a tough dude. I have no doubt that he would have gone out there, and fought through whatever pain he had, but that wasn't the decision I was looking to make. So, obviously, we had a lot of confidence in Colt, and, he did a good job for us today. We came away with the result we're working for all week.
Does that mean that Daniel will be back next week, you think?
I don't have a 100% answer on that. We want to get all of our guys healthy, him, Blake, whoever else may be in that pool of guys that we have to look at going into next week, but I couldn't give you an answer one way or another, Tom, right now.
Gordon Rodon, ESPN.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? What does it mean to your defense that you're getting guys big, significant contributions from guys like Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, Tay Crowder, Isaac Yiadom?
Yeah, look, we coach every player on our team the same. We try to develop every player on our team. I don't care how you got here. I don't care where you were before. I don't care what your role is in the beginning of the season. We're coaching everybody hard. We're coaching everybody to improve. We're evaluating everybody on a consistent basis as to the improvement they're making. We're very honest with our guys to make sure they understand exactly what they have to work on and improve on. And we've seen a lot of these young guys make a lot of improvement throughout the season. Nico had a second turnover, of the season right now. It's 2 games and 2 big plays he's made for us. So, between him, Cam, Carter, Darnay, Tay, look, there's a lot of young guys on defense, young guys on offense as well, that we ask to do a lot of jobs, and they keep getting better. They give us confidence because the way they prepare and the way they demonstrate the execution in practice. Overall, we're a young team, but we really don't care about that. I told you guys a long time ago, I love the fact that we're a young team. I really do. It means there's a lot of guys that develop, a lot of guys really work with and grow. And, I've seen guys, I don't care, if they're a practice squad 2 weeks ago or they're a veteran in this league. All of our guys are improving, and all the guys are helping us have results.
And what can you say about the way Leonard Williams played today?
Guy's a man, man. That dude's a man. So, one thing I'll tell you, there's things about Leo you may not know by not just being in the locker room with him. First off, this guy's just an absolute pleasure to be around. This guy smiles all the time. All right, he's a great teammate. He's very coachable. You give him something to work on, he's going to work as hard as he can to master it. he gives us a lot of versatility on the defense because of his skill set. And this dude's just a guy that when you see him in your locker before the game makes you feel a little bit better. But I'll tell you what, obviously there's statistics on the field you see. What you don't see is what kind of, guy he is to coach, what kind of teammate he is away from it. And look, that's as important, if not more important, than all the statistics you see on the sheets. All right, this guy helps everybody else raise their level of preparation and play.
Dak Rosenblatt, NJ.com.
Hey, Joe, there were a lot of games like this earlier in the season that you guys weren't able to close out. Either you couldn't make a stop at the end or you weren't able to score at the end. And I guess, what would you say is, what's the biggest difference in this team as you sit here right now at 5-7 compared to when you were 1-7 and maybe there wasn't a lot of confidence outside of the building?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the year, the same questions I got then. It's all about, you want to win those games that are close down the edge. It really comes in the, what'd you do for the entire 60 minutes? It's not just those final 2 minutes. It's what'd you do the entire game to put yourself in position and capitalize on it. What plays were you able to make earlier in the game that you got to go ahead and then execute down the stretch as well? I just think our team's executing, a lot better down the stretch. They've made a lot of improvement. A lot of that's from, just comfort of being around these coaches for a length of time, building on the multiples that we have within the game plan on a weekly basis, and the adjustments we can make on the sideline or in the locker room, on a kind of quick turnaround basis. So guys are just making plays. These guys prepare hard and they play well.
We'll take two more, Otis and Steve. Otis Livingston, CBS.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. What is it about Colt McCoy that gave you so much confidence? You had Daniel Jones trying to work his way back onto the field, but you held him out. Colt McCoy's only played in 8 games in the last 5 years. What gave you so much confidence that he would be able to go on the road in Seattle, tough place to play, obviously, against that team, and get that win?
Yeah, confidence comes from practice execution. He's a guy that we see on a daily basis make plays in practice, whether it's with our offense or whether it's against our defense on a show team card. He does a tremendous job just making plays, and he's as competitive as there is in the league. You put this guy against our defense, put him in a 2-minute drill, he gives you headache after headache right there. And he's just a guy who comes to work every day. Look, this guy's a ball player. He grew up on the ball field with his dad coaching. He's got a lot of experience, but, he's not a guy that's out of his comfort zone stepping into a huddle. That's really where he's meant to be. So putting him in a huddle right there, that's not something he's not prepared to do. He's been doing that entire life.
Last question here, Steve Belletti, NJ.com.
Joe, you had a ton of players out there today who weren't even on the roster when the season began. What does this win say about your personnel department and your general manager?
Yeah, I think they do a great job. We talk a lot of times about, digging and finding. And, really what I'm most interested in is just find us guys that we can develop. Find us someone who has a skill set and a tool set and the right mental makeup and attitude that we can work with. It's important for us to really build a team, that's got that smart, tough, fundamentally sound, scope that we're looking to build with. So we want to find guys who you can coach and they can do more than one thing. We want to find guys who are mentally and physically tough. I think they've done a good job of going out there, really digging and finding it. We've got a lot of guys that maybe someone else may have thought was under the radar. For us, they were right on our scope. We're fortunate enough to be able to bring these guys into our program. We're fortunate enough to work with them on a daily basis. And I'm just proud of the way they work and improve on a daily basis.
Can you describe the feeling of walking off the field today, knowing that you did your job, but also, I would imagine it's been a while for you to kind of have this feeling as the quarterback on game day to walk off with that win?
Yeah, I'm just so proud to be a part of this team. We had 0 points at halftime, and the defense was playing lights out, and we rallied together, and they helped me out. They calmed me down there in the second half. I felt like I played a little better as the game went on. I was seeing a lot of things early. They pressured a lot, and I wasn't confused on a whole lot of looks. I just was kind of seeing it too quick, and I just needed to calm down, take a breath, and once we started running the football, I felt a lot better. That's a really good football team, and but to me, the offensive line and our defense, deserve all the credit for this one. They played outstanding.
Jordan.
Hey, Colt, congratulations, man. You guys, you didn't really throw the ball downfield that often. I think maybe your last throw was the only time you threw the ball, deep down the field. How much was that the game plan? How much is that just kind of how it unfolded?
Yeah, it's just kind of how it unfolded. They're a really good front. We felt like we liked our matchups outside. It just they were heating us up early in the game, and to have that much time to push the ball down the field is tough unless you use play action. We had a nice second drive of the game, and then I turned it over down in the red zone. That took away points. that was a tough one. But then as the game went on, we just kind of played to how it was going. I don't think, we definitely had a plan to attack. But you get in a game and you never know how they're going to respond and what we need to do.
And how certain were you were going to start throughout the week? And at what point did you know, all right, 100%? Okay, I'm the guy here now. I can, I know what I got to do here. It's my show. Yeah, DJ communicated with me pretty well all week long, and he kind of knew it was going to be a long shot for him. So I got to take a bunch of reps this week and felt good with them. Again, I got to tip my hat to our coaches and to the guys on my side of the ball because, I just told them I don't want to change much. Let's just, you guys are on a 3-game win streak and you're playing well and you're playing at a high level. You're playing with a lot of confidence. And so, I just studied all week to kind of pick up where we left off in Cincinnati. And fortunately, our run game, was outstanding. And that really calmed me down in the second half and was able to finish it out.
Canada.
Cole, one of the things that Eli used to, or the running backs and the offensive line used to talk about when Eli was here, was how well he did changing the play at the line in the sense of picking the right holes. Your stats may not be great today, but did you feel you did a good job of getting the holes right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Just communicating up front. We did everything on the ball, and the Seahawks pose a lot of problems because they show you a lot of different looks. 33 can run a game, right? And so always understanding where he is, kind of making the right checks and getting us into the right, protections. I felt like, for most of the game we did a good job of that, especially in the second half. But those guys up front really, really dominated and, helped us come out with this win for sure.
Thank you.
Hey, Valentine.
Hey, Colt, how are you?
Good.
I'm just curious, how personally gratifying is this for you today? It's been a long time since you quarterbacked a winning game.
Yeah, I hadn't played a whole lot either, but it's very gratifying. I talked to the guys. Coach Judge let me break down the team at the end. I just told him, how proud I was to be a part of this, to be with this group of guys. That's special to me. I love the game of football. I've been playing for 11 years, and I'm fortunate to still be playing. I count my blessings every day. But to come in here on the road and figure out a way to help our team get a win, obviously there's things I can do better, 100%. I mean, I played so far from perfect, but I think I did a good job in the second half, settling down and seeing things and taking a breath. I felt like in the first half I was ahead of the play a lot, which I hadn't done it in a while. But I think that overall a lot of things to clean up. But again, I love the game. I love being able to play, and playing with this group is pretty special, and I'm really appreciative of it.
We got time for 2 more. Duggan and Bruce Beck. Duggan.
Hey, Colt, in the second half, it seemed like you guys went heavy personnel a lot and had a lot of success running out of that. Why do you think that worked so well for you guys?
That really, I don't want to say that wasn't part of the plan, but when we got in some big people and threw some play actions early in the game, it worked. And I think the O-line felt like they could get some removal in these big personnel packages, and it also helped us block 33. I mean, Jamal Adams can run a game, and so knowing where he was and getting a hat on him, really helped our run game, and we ended up finding some things there in the bigger people, and the run game was working and helped me out a lot.
And I know this is on the other side of the ball, but as the quarterback, what's it like just with this defense, what they were able to do today and kind of obviously keeping the game, pulled out? Yeah, I mean, I play against those guys every week. Our defense is great, especially up front and, in the secondary. They work so hard. I can't tell you how focused and determined they are every week to be great. And there's a lot of leaders on the defense, and those guys are playing at a really high level, and they did it again today and came up big for us. You don't win a lot of games when you have 0 points at halftime. So our defense kept us in it, and we came out and made some plays in the second half and put together a nice team win. Thanks.
Last one here, Bruce Beck.
Colt, who helped you the most in preparation for today's game? Who do you want to give a shout out to?
Lots of people. I want to say something in particular. Like Daniel Jones is a phenomenal guy. He's a great quarterback. He's the leader of this football team. He didn't miss a beat in meetings. He knew he wasn't going to play, and from the things that he helped me with on the sidelines to during the week, we have a great relationship. But he is the Giants are lucky to have him, 100%. And so he was a big help. Jason was a big help. I thought Jason called a really good game. He calmed me down there when things weren't going great. He knew I was seeing it. I just needed to take a few breaths. And again, playing on the road like this against this defense, they pose a lot of problems in your protections. They come after you. I think they were like 81% pressure, on coming in, to this game over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And so, as a quarterback, you're not playing a lot. Like you kind of feel that, and you prepare for that. And DJ helped me just calm down, see it, all week long, and I obviously can be a lot better. Let's get that straight. But to come out on top today, hats off to our defense and to the offensive line, and the running backs ran well, the receivers caught the ball, and it's fun to be a part of it for sure.
Career high 8.5 sacks. Talk about that feeling, and can you talk about how this defense has come together the last 3-4 games?
I mean, overall, this game was a tough game. It was clearly came down to the last minute game. So that feeling coming into the locker room and celebrating with the guys on the positive side of it, winning, coming all the way out here to the West Coast and going back home with the win. That felt amazing. And even on top of that, it felt, better to obviously help our team get to that win. And like you said, defense played lights out. Offense, was running the ball. And I feel like we played some hard-nosed football today.
Otis.
Leo, you guys lost. You want to go ahead?
Chris, were you finished?
Just to follow up, Leo, could you just talk about the contributions from some of these young guys the last few games?
I was actually talking to Carter about that on the sideline. I was saying I was giving props to Pat about how good he's been doing with the guys that he has. We have such young guys on defense like Carter and Cam and some undrafted guys and I feel like they've been stepping up big time. Once again Nico got another turnover on his side. He's 2 for 2 now, 2 games and 2 takeaways. And then Tay came back and got a sack. He's been doing great. And then Carter and Cam have been doing great on special teams and on defense. So I feel like a lot of these young guys have been stepping up big for us.
Otis.
Hey, Leo, you guys lost a number of games, 10 points or less early in the season. How do you feel like that has taught you, losing those games early? Because during this 4-game winning streak, you've pretty much been within that 8 to 10 point margin of victory.
Honestly, I think then more than now is when I realized how good of a team we have. Just because, even though we were losing, this team never broke apart. This team came even closer together after those losses. And we worked hard as crap. We were coming to work with the chip on our shoulder every day, and we still are. And I think it's showing in the way we play, it's showing in our togetherness. And I think in the beginning of the season when we were losing is when I was almost more proud of these guys than now. And I think it just shows because of how locked in we all are.
Do you feel like you personally are coming into your own? That this is the real Leo?
I wouldn't know how to say that. I think it's been fun. I think the scheme has been fun. I think, guys around me have been helping me play great. The system's been helping me play great. The energy on the team is helping me play great. There's just a lot of stuff comes together that helps players reach their potential. And I think it's just all coming together.
Jordan?
Hey, Leonard, what's going on?
How you doing?
What did you guys do that seemed to confuse Russell Wilson so much? I mean, he was holding the ball a while there, and he couldn't seem to find guys open.
I honestly don't know. I think we have a great secondary. I think also, schematically, I think we did a good job of making him feel pressure, making him uncomfortable. He felt a guy on this side and had to hold the ball and come to this side and felt that guy on this side. I felt like we were coming at him from a lot of angles, and it made him a little bit confused at times. And overall, he's obviously the head of the offense, being the quarterback, and making him uncomfortable is what we had to do, and I think we did a good job of that.
Hey, Leonard, you've talked about how you've been on teams that weren't able to bounce back from that slow type of start that this team got into. I'm just curious, what does it mean to you to be sitting here at 5-7, top of the NFC East, playing the way you are, and to really have a chance to get to the playoffs for the first time in your career?
I think it means a lot. I mean, this has been a fun season. Like I said, I think in the beginning of the season is when, the team and the guys and the coaches is really prove to each other what type of team we really have. It's obviously happy. It's easy to be happy and see the good things when you guys are winning, but I feel like we all seen the good things in each other and what we had even when we were losing, and that just helped continue to build our confidence in each other and build on what we have working here. And eventually, it just turns into a snowball, and it keeps building up, and I feel like we have a real culture here now, and I love the way this team is going.
And what was going through your head on that last sack that kind of sealed it a little bit there?
I was like, thank you so much, Dalvin, because he really did a good job penetrating on that game and helped me wrap around. And also, I came so wide open that I was like, please get this guy down, because I was like, don't get juked by this guy. He's obviously a great quarterback and a good scrambler, so I'm glad I was able to get him down.
Thanks.
We'll take two more, Lombardo and Duggan. Lombardo.
Hey, Leonard, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, what was the turning point for this defense? Because it's like the last month you guys have just been playing at an even higher level than any other point in the year, and it seems like it seems to build and build and build every week.
Yeah.
What do you think started that, and how much better can you get from here?
I can't really find a definite turning point, but I feel like, we were a young, new defense. We were all still getting to know each other, getting to know the coordinator. The coordinator's still getting to know his players and who he has and stuff like that. And, I feel like we were really good in some areas in the beginning of the season, and then we would, not be as good in some areas. And I feel like eventually we just finally started putting it all together. And that just comes from growth and, knowing each other. I feel like that's all it is.
For you personally, what is it about this scheme or these techniques that have really brought out the best of you? I mean, 8.5 sacks, you have 4 games left.
Like I said, I think we have a great secondary, so I think those guys obviously helped me a lot. There's been times where I've gotten some coverage sacks just because, there's nobody to throw it to. And obviously if those guys are, giving me a lot of time, anybody can get back there. And then also I think just the energy that we have on the team. We play with a high energy, high motor. We practice that way, and it comes to the game.
Thanks. I'm here, Duggan.
Hey, Leonard, it seems like every week, Pat comes up with a game plan to really, give you guys the best chance. What's it like as a player to, walk in there Wednesday morning, get the game plan, and know that you're going to be put in position to, have a great plan, have a great scheme?
We always joke around about how Pat is like a computer, because I swear he could remember a play from 6 years ago that he ran and know exactly where it was in that game, and he'll be play 56 in year 7 against the Buccaneers. I'm like, what? How does this guy remember that stuff? And I think, he's just a genius when it comes to, scheming guys and understanding who he has and who he has to go against. And I think he just puts guys in great position to play their best, and it shows, I think.
Paul Schwartz.
Hey, Wayne.
What's up?
Hey, in the first half, you guys had about 24 rushing yards and had no points. And obviously, you ended the game with a decent amount of points and a lot of rushing yards. You personally and the team, 190. What changed at halftime?
The only thing that changed is that, we knew we had to come out and we had to, hit them first. Really, that was it. We knew we couldn't play around anymore. Just being short with ourselves. Really just believing in ourselves going in that second half and really just executing. That was our biggest thing.
Do you think you were going all the way on that 60-yard run?
Yeah, but Jamal had a good angle, but I promise you I'm going to win more of those than lose them. I'm going to work on that.
Wayne, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Take us through that 60-yard run from your perspective.
Man, the line. I said it, but the line did their job. They got everybody sealed. I pulled the backers in as much as I could, then I just hit it. Man, the line's been doing a great job, and I credit the coaches, during the week. Every week I say, we try to get 1% better, and we've really done that. So big credit to the offensive line today.
Was there anything you guys saw that made it seem like you guys were attacking sort of the edges on the runs, especially in that second half? Was there anything you guys saw that maybe made you go in that direction?
A lot of their looks in the first half didn't have us confused, but they were moving in different ways as to, we didn't, like some of our Ds were wrong sometimes, but, that's what adjustments are for. That's why in the second half we came out and we just did what we needed to do to win this game.
Dougie?
Hey, Wayne, you've been here for a while and obviously not for a lot of wins. How much different is the vibe with this team right now than, to this point in your career?
Not saying that we didn't have a team before in the past couple of years, but this team, everyone wants it, from the coaches to our owners to the players. We really want it, and we know what we have, and we just got to keep on going every week, man. We can't take any week for granted. We just got to put that work in for the next 4 weeks that we have, and see what happens.
And obviously not many people gave you guys a chance today. Did you guys use that as motivation at all?
We don't care about the outside noise, man. We're all focused on each other and ourselves, and just, trying to have the best game for each other, because that's what it takes.
All right, Jabrill, coming into this matchup against the Seattle Seahawks, all the talk is about DJ Metcalf. How are you guys able to slow him down, keep him out of the end zone, and pull out this victory, especially with you guys on the field pulling out the victory?
Man, just playing sound, disciplined football. Keep everything in front of us. Trust our eyes and rally and tackle, man. I think that was the big thing today. Just keep making them snap the ball, and play 60 minutes of our brand.
Jabrill, what was it like walking off the field today? You haven't had that experience a lot in your career, a big win like that late in the season.
It felt good, man. It felt good. But, we know we got to keep stacking them. We know that was a great team we just played, but we got another great team coming in next week. So we're going to enjoy the win tonight, get this tape corrected, cleaned up, and shift our focus to Arizona.
What was the thinking on that last chuck, that fourth down chuck that they made?
Just keep everything in front of us, man. We knew Russ likes to make plays with his legs, getting outside the pocket so he could see the whole field. And, we just wanted to make things difficult on him. Make him throw in the tight windows, make those guys make contested catches and keep everything in front of us. That last play, it was 4th and long. So, we knew they had a while to get the first down. And, we just backed our coverage up, and forced them to make a play. And, it rolled in our favor.
All right. Hey, Jabrill, is that ball, when it's in the air, is that hanging up there a lot longer than usual? And when you see Russell unleash it, in that moment, what's the mindset when all you guys are kind of jumping up in that one situation?
Just don't let them catch it. We know Russ is a hell of a deep ball thrower, one of the best in the business, and we just wanted to surround the ball with as many defenders as we can, and make sure either we catch it or nobody catches it.
When you walked on this field today before the game, did it feel any differently than the last couple of weeks when you guys have posted wins, knowing that this was a team?
We walked in here confident. I'm not going to lie. The team had a different swagger about them. Team had a different juice about them today because we know if we played our brand of football, we know we could shock a lot of people. And, the ball rolled in our favor. I'm proud of the way the guys fought. The offense, sticking with the game plan, sticking with the run, playing hard-nosed football, and, us just doing what we do on defense. We don't care when we get called to go out there. We just going to respond.
Matt Lombardo.
Hey, Jabrill, how's it going, man?
How you doing?
Good. You keep talking about your brand of football. In your opinion as a defense, what is that brand?
Just tough, hard-nosed, physical, disciplined football, man. We know those guys get paid too. We know they're going to make plays, but, just make them snap the ball again. Just keep making them snap the ball, keep playing hard-nosed, physical, be great tacklers, and good things will happen for you.
It seems like you guys have really turned a corner in the last 3 weeks or a month. Why do you think that is, and how much momentum can you carry from week to week to week, especially coming after a game like this where you guys were so pivotal in pulling off the win?
I just think guys are gelling better. I think we're figuring out, what each other is good at, how to play off one another. I think the coaches are doing a great job with the game plan and putting guys in positions to excel. And, as the season goes on, teams either – ascend or descend. We wanted to make sure we were one of those ascending teams who keep getting better week in and week out, trusting the process, trusting the game plan, really buying in to what the coaches want from us and expect from us. And, we have a level of, where guys, we expect things too as players. And it's a certain brand, it's a certain style that, we expect each and every one of us to play with. And, I think we've been doing a good job of, bringing that out.
Ralph Vacchiano.
Hey, Jabrill, you just mentioned the coaches. What can you say about the job that your defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, has done with the game plans, with getting guys in the right spot, and just kind of building your overall confidence?
Like I said, he's done a hell of a job as the year went on, as he started to get to know his guys a little better and, what we're good at, what our best attributes are and putting us in the best possible positions to make plays. And, we just want to go out there, play hard, and make those plays for him.
Bruce Beck.
Jabrill, you were 1-7 and reeling. Now you're 5-7 and rolling. How do you explain it?
Just trusting the process. We just really ignore the outside noise and keep working. We know we got a great group of guys. We got a damn good team here. We just had to execute and buy into the most minute details. Because when you really look at it, those losses, it wasn't big losses. It was a play here or a play there. And, if we eliminated those mental errors and, play our brand of football, we felt pretty good about the rest of the season. So, we know we got tough tests coming up, but, we're going to keep buying in, keep executing the game plan and, stay detail-oriented.
We'll take one more. Dougie.
Hey, Jabrill, why has this defense been able to keep rolling as you keep plugging new faces in and, rookies and guys up the street? How come this defense is still playing at such a high level week in, week out?
It's a standard, man. Like I said, the coaches expect things from us, and we as players have a standard that we expect people to play by. And, we don't care who's out there. That's the standard. And if you're not going to play up to the standard, then the guy's not going to be out there. So, we just keep playing keep playing our brand of football, man. We don't care when we're called to go out there. We know we got a job to do once we go out there, and that's execute.
Hey, Alfred, you scored 2 touchdowns today. I'm just curious, considering, the way your career's gone the last couple of years, if you ever had any doubt that you'd get an opportunity to do something like this again.
No, I didn't. Oh, no, I'm going to be honest. Most days I didn't doubt, but there was a couple of days I doubted. I'm like, man, why am I training? Why am I doing this? It looks bleak, but I was always reminded why, and I kept going, and opportunity presented itself, so I'm super thankful. It's been a while since I got in the end zone, so it felt really good today to get in there, not once but twice. Shout out to Wayne for setting both of those up.
All right.
What actually worked on that drive that, sprung Wayne, and then obviously, you guys, it seemed like you just set the tone there after the first half, kind of it seemed to be a little conservative. Did you see the dominance coming in the second half, or was that drive kind of a wake-up call?
Yes, we one of the things we do really well is communicate. Me and Wayne with Dion and Eli, as well as with Coach. We were talking he's like, they can't keep this up the entire game. There's no way. We felt like they came out and played us like the Bengals did. They wanted to stack the box. They wanted to shoot every gap. They wanted to basically make us one-dimensional. Especially after Daniel went down, they felt like, for whatever reason, if we can take them out and make it that much harder for them. But we knew that we have to keep the run game going, so we have to continue to run hard. And Wayne has been doing an amazing job at that. And he likes to fire up in all of us. So I wanted to do my part. So we knew it was going to pop, and when we came out, we kept stacking. We was able to get out on the edge, and it was just a perfect block. And Wayne read it perfectly, and he was able to go down the sideline. So that definitely lit a fire up, and not only just the running backs, but also the O-line. And once you get that going, you kind of it's a steamroller effect. You just want to keep going, and we was able to do that.
Hey, Alfred. A couple of things. On the touchdown catch, you had a lot of time, and the ball was up in the air a long time. It looked like you almost kind of double caught it a little bit carefully. So can you just talk about that play? And then I have one more for you right after that.
Oh, no, I definitely double caught it. I was just so wide open. It was just, I assumed somebody was going to be there. So I think they were planning them for us to run, a gap run again, which I think that kind of drawed them in. And, normally I don't do those type of plays. So I think it just made it work that much more, and it's just I was able to just creep out into the flat, and I was so open. That's why I kind of like double caught it. But that was actually my first receiving touchdown, so yeah. So that was huge. So it felt really good to get in the end zone twice.
First receiving touchdown ever?
Ever? Well, no. It's since the pros. I've had quite a few in like high school, college, things like that. But in the pros, I just didn't really have many opportunities.
And what was Colt like? I mean, he didn't throw for a lot of yards. He made some, big plays, threw you a touchdown pass. You're used to Daniel Jones in the huddle and on the field. What was Colt like?
I mean, I've spent quite a bit of time with Colt as well back in Washington. So it was, for me, it was easy. It was comfortable. I think he's very poised. I think he handled what was given to him very well. Threw the ball really well. When he had to, he was a magician. He escaped some things. He was able to get out and use his legs. So, I mean, he did a great job. And like I said, I'm glad that it was a great team win. We all rallied around him and rallied around each other and was able to move the ball down the field when it really mattered. It was slow to start, but we finished strong, so that's what really matters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll take one more.
Hey, Alfred, I think you joined in week 4. So the team's 0-3, and you come in. Like, what did you see from this team then? And did you see that this team was able to put it together the way they have?
I felt like it was a very talented team. It was, like, young in some regards, but it had, like, veteran talent. But I feel like it was like something was missing. Not really sure what that was, but I feel like we've kind of figured it out, and I think more guys are realizing like just how good we can be and how good we are becoming. And I think once you kind of get that feel, you're like, dang, like, okay, you get that win, and it's like that felt good. Like we want that feeling again. So it's like, what do we need to do to continue to win? It's not easy to win any game, like one game in this league, but to continue to win. Then we have like 4 over the, was that 4 in a row now? I think I really don't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Okay, she's nodding his head. So, I mean, to do that, that's huge, And I've been on one of these runs before. My rookie year in Washington, we went, 3-6 at bye week. We came out of the bye week. We won 7 games straight to make it to the postseason for the first time in, years. That was huge. But to do that, you need not a group of talented individuals. You need talented individuals working together as a team. I think everyone sees the end goal. They see the bigger picture, and they're not just focused on me or stats or whatever. They focus on the big picture, and that's winning games. And it takes it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, one opponent at a time. And I think we're doing a really good job of that. And it's exciting to win. So once you get that, you kind of get that itch. You want more of it. So I think that's like been exciting a lot of guys. Like we need to keep winning. Like we're in first place, But like use that as fuel, but not stay focused on that we lose sight of the bigger picture. And I think we've been doing a really good job of doing that so far.